maybe it's because they don't want to seem arrogant, but you can be confident without being arrogant. And some say, yet I hope I am, because they're not certain. They don't have the assurance and the confidence. Why wouldn't you have the confidence? Are you forgiven? You're in a perpetual state of forgiveness by the ever-cleansing blood of Jesus. If you are forgiven, you are saved. Are you saved? Yes, I am, because I am forgiven. I stay in a perpetual state of salvation. I am saved. And I am never not saved. That's not once saved, always saved. Because there's some things that I can do where the blood of Jesus quits cleansing. And I am no longer in a state of forgiveness. And I am no longer in a state of salvation by my bad choices and my impenitence. But as long as I walk in the light, I am constantly forgiven. Now, Michael, you still with us? Daniel, are you still with us?
I am. I was going to make a comment.
Okay, help me.
Do you feel like that in this conversation sometimes we trust in ourselves as the object of faith and in our own works instead of trusting in the work of Christ on Calvary? We trust in our own if it's up, it's kind of like salvation is up to me.
Yes.
That we lean in that direction.
In answer to your question, yes, I do. And I think that a lot of our preaching lends itself to that concept. We say we don't believe in merit salvation, earning our salvation. And then a lot of times when you hear us preaching, it's like you have to be perfect in your obedience to merit your salvation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And we are emphasizing more of what we do than what Jesus has done.
Absolutely.
To be right with God. And that's, I think, a weakness in our emphasis. We need to work on that, don't we?
Mm-hmm.
That's a very astute observation.
Brother?
In fact, yes, Chris, thank you.
There was one time, and I don't remember who, I wish I could, but I heard a preacher say, imagine it was the night of the Passover, and Moses had given the instruction as to what God wanted them to do. And let's say that there was, a man from Israel, and he did everything that he's supposed to do, and he put the blood on the doorpost. But that whole night he was in his house, and he was just scared to death. Just, I hope this actually works. I'm going to do it, but I'm just not sure. And he tossed and turned, scared to death all night long. There was another man who just perfectly trusted, this is what God said, this is what I'm going to do. He slept like a baby that night. The question was, whenever those two men woke up in the morning, which household was spared? And the answer was both of them. One man just tossed and turned all night for no reason. and I,
Boy, that's a great illustration.
I've thought about that in your sense that there are Christians that they're faithful, but because of kind of what is just talked about, they're afraid to die, even because I hope I go to heaven. I don't know, and they're tossing and turning needlessly.
Yes, you have. Here's a man that's been an elder in the Lord's church for decades, and his influence has blessed the lives of many.